What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video. Hope you're all doing well today. Finally, I have a chance to try one of these Steezy Supercross tracks. Now, I've not been able to play them really, just because of the time they've been released. They usually release basically on the same day or the day after the aerial track. Issue being is the time that I record and then upload the videos, it always ends up being the day after aerial, and I feel like it's a little bit pointless to do the same track again, just in a different scaling. However, as we know, the gremlins of the MX Bikes community have come out to play recently, so we didn't get to race Glendale at all. It's been postponed, so it's actually perfect timing to now be able to try one of these tracks. And visually, I have to say, since the last Steezy track I played, this is a hell of a step up. Like, it's really, really pretty. The contrast on it looks nice too. Very, very bright also. And if anything, well, based off of what people have said about previous tracks, there could be some very large lines dotted about here as well. Now, I'm riding the KTM 450 today, so we are going to try and unleash all of its power, all 450 of those CCs. And yeah, without further ado, let's get into it and see what all the hype has been about these last few weeks.
For all of you passionate gamers, you can now get 20% off all G Fuel products worldwide by using code LINS at checkout. And for any of you motorheads looking for some new drip or apparel, use code MXPR_LINS15 fxrracing.eu to get 15% off. All links and codes are in the description down below. Enjoy the video and drop a cheeky little like and subscribe.
So if you wanted a little bit of an update, just as we try and learn this track here, then yeah, if you're getting connection timeout on MX Bikes over the last 2 days or so, it's because a couple of the, I guess, degenerates of the community have decided they don't want anybody to play the game right now, and they are sending a DDoS attack to Pabayoso's master server. So if you get a connection timeout on MX Bikes, then if you also go over to the MX Bikes website, like stats.mxbikes.com and all those ones, that will also not be working either. I have seen the behind the scenes and screenshots and stuff, and it's something like 100 gigs of data per second is being sent over there. And all I can really say is Pabayoso is looking into methods of prevention moving forward. So whilst it is a bit of a sucky situation to be in, it kind of means good things for the future, because we should hopefully get some server protection moving forwards after this. There is obviously the debate that should have been in place already, but you know what, hindsight is a wonderful thing, and if we can get it fixed moving forwards, then I'll certainly be a happy man. Now, we was also meant to be doing a donate-a-thon today. First one of the year. I've not done one in a good maybe 3 months or so now. However, I put a poll out in my Discord last night just to ask what people wanted, because in my mind, the whole point of those long donate-a-thons is getting involved with you guys. You know, there's at some point throughout the stream, every single one of you should be able to get into a server and play with me and just us as a community overall. However, if the servers are down, we can't really do that. And I was kind of wondering, does anybody want to see 24 hours of me sat in testing? Whilst the answer for some people would be a yes, for myself and then for the majority of others, the answer was a no. So I think we're going to delay it a couple of weeks, because next weekend I am away. I'm going to visit the girlfriend and have a Valentine's Day, or Valentine's weekend, that weekend. After that, I am off to Wembley with old Ruspa, with Mr. Charlie. Thanks very much to the AGP Racing boys for hooking us up with some pit passes, which will be a very nice day, but also a very long day. Got to get onto the train first thing in the morning, and yeah, go and watch the Arena Cross boys tear it up throughout the day. That should be some very, very good fun, actually getting out of the house and socialising a little bit. So it probably won't be until the weekend after that, I think, that I'd be able to give it another go. So we'll play it by ear and see what happens closer to the time. Weekend after that, I'm supposedly meant to be going to Qatar. You know, from the Milan event, the agency that kind of deals with like the travel and stuff like that, they reached out to me about a week ago now, and I gave them all my details. I've not heard anything back just yet, which worries me a little bit, but we'll play it cool. We'll play it by ear for now and see what comes of that too. So kind of got a busy couple of weeks coming up, so yeah, I hope you don't mind too much, and obviously I will try my very, very best to get the content out to you as regularly as I possibly can do. And yeah, that's where we're at right now in terms of updates. That's what's popping. If you watched yesterday's video, it wasn't a commentary thing, it was just literally 2 preview laps of track that I'm working on. I suppose I've kind of played my hand a little bit early here, haven't I? But if you're unaware, I made a video a couple of days ago talking about how do we bring the fun back to MX bikes, whether it's like 125 series, old tracks, tracks being put on a roulette wheel so that people can't grind the track for a week straight before the race, etc. So what I've decided in my mind is a pit bike series. Now, it's not the standard pit bikes because I tried building some form of Supercross tracks for the standard pit bikes, the really, really small one. Go on, backflip, land it, right out, right out, right out, right out. Nope. What happens is, because they've got such a short wheelbase, any jump that you hit, even if you go into said jump leaning forwards and you're off the throttle, the front end still comes up quite high, which doesn't really make for a particularly flowy, pleasant experience. So what we've done instead is there is a pack of what? It's not a pit bike as such, you know. It's a CRF 110, but it's been like modded out. It's a big bore. The swing arm I think is longer than usual as well to make it a bit more stable, and that's kind of the bike that I decided to scale the track around. Conveniently, I think I got a little bit lucky because the round one that is maybe like 50% done now. It's texturing's done and the height map's done. I need to now work on my blender skills and get objects and stuff like that place. I think I got lucky because it works well on the pit bike. It works well on 125s. It works well on 250s. And then I gave it to Rum just to test to see if he could try and break it for me. Because there is one or two just ridiculous lines. He hopped on the 450 and he was like going quad 5 through rhythm sections, and it actually looked quite fun. And I don't think I'm going to change anything about it. I quite like the idea of people having the ability to ride whatever bikes they want. So very, very lucky man. I didn't plan on that at all. It just managed to go together really, really well. So I've already started working on a layout number 2 for that series. That was just last night. You know, now I've got a template in Photoshop of like berms and jumps and such. It's much easier just to quickly map a track out than it is to go in Blender and texture and all that stuff. So I just started on number 2 before I finished number 1. But my plan for that whole thing is to do a 4 or 5 round series. Now, if they end up being of a good enough quality to go on the shop, hear me out before you get upset and comment about paid tracks. I would like to do so for the minimum price possible, like 50 cents. Reason being is I would like to run a series on these tracks where there is prize money. So majority of the money that goes into buying them tracks would go back into prize money. So even if I get literally only 50 or so people buying the 4 different rounds, like buying each round, that is, like all 4 of them, and we get 200 downloads maybe, that would then be just under $100 once like shop fees and stuff come into play as well. Then I could put a little bit of my own money into it as well. We could have like $100 prize pool towards the end just for a 4 or 5 round pit bike series, which I think is a really cool thing. I know that will scare a lot of people off if it ends up being paid in any capacity. We'll see what happens. There's a very, very high chance that when the tracks are finished, they are not of a shop quality standard, because, you know, I'm not the best when it comes to making visuals and stuff on this game. I think it's really, really difficult to do. I've got nothing but the utmost respect for the people that can make their tracks look absolutely amazing and natural everywhere. It's a really, really difficult thing to do, and it's been so long since I made my Riverside track that I'm basically having to relearn everything again, like watching the same YouTube videos as I did back then and so on, because it's very easy to forget, like really, really easy to forget if you don't do it very often. So it's been a learning process, and I think in the last 5 days or so, I've put in about 40-ish hours, which is pretty damn gross. Yeah, about 40 hours already onto one track, which is just insane. So enough of my waffling, enough of my updates. Going back to this track, the lines aren't as like outrageous as I expected them to be. The jumps are more mellow than I thought, and based on my last Steezy tracks, it's a lot smaller in terms of the scaling. I know he usually goes quite wide on the tracks that he builds, but maybe this is the new normal for his Supercross. I mean, like, it's night and day difference compared to Anaheim. I did play Anaheim 1, didn't I? I'm pretty sure I played Anaheim 1. Yeah, much different in terms of scaling, and I'd actually argue that this is better. I mean, this is definitely going to be much more viable for 250 riders as well. It does feel like the 450 is a little bit overkill in some places, But again, I've got to give props for how it looks. It's very, very pretty, both on the track and off the track. I'm not sure where the stadium comes from, but the stadium looks really, really nice. Also, I like where he's got the jump like faces and landings highlighted, so you can kind of pick them out easier in rhythms without having to, like try and squint and see where your landing's going to be. And it's good. I think he's done a very, very nice job on this. And if there is any chance that he's able to get these tracks out a day earlier than he does, then I can definitely see myself doing a couple more of them. It just doesn't really line up with my schedule for the time being, which is a bit of a pain in the bum. But yeah, that's basically been my waffling for you today. And yeah, glad I finally got to give these a chance. It's nice to mix things up a little bit, and it's so different to playing on the aerial tracks, because I always get people coming into my live stream when I'm trying to qualify for the aerial version and saying, "Oh, you can hit this line, by the way." It's like, well, no, you can't. Please stop. It's such a persistent thing that so many people do. It's like, "Oh, you can quad this." And it's like, it's not the same track. Please understand, they're different track creators. It's different scaling. Like, you can't hit every jump the same. But it's still nice getting that. Just different interpretations, I would say, is the right word. And can we quad over this? We can quad. Oh, you can definitely go like quad, triple through here. Then I think there's some big lines around here. You know what? I'll do one more lap. I'll do one lap of just absolutely trying to send every jump as far as possible, which includes hitting the high side of the jump after the next left-hander. So we're going to try and go further out wide here. And up. Okay, way too far. You might even be able to jump over that one that I cased. So maybe 5 into the rhythm. Yeah, there's probably some huge lines. I think I might have been a little bit too reserved whilst trying to chat and play at the same time. Not going to lie to you. But yeah, no, really good. Massive improvement compared to previous Steezy tracks that I've seen. So yeah, maybe I'll have to give them a go a little bit more than I have done. Maybe I've not given them as much credit as they deserved, because I think last time someone mentioned them, because I was going based off of my Anaheim 1 experience, I was like, oh, there's not really too much point grinding them if you want to qualify for aerial, because the scaling is just massively overscaled, etc. But he's toned it down a lot, so it feels a lot more refined. Not quite as amateur friendly as it would be, but more like intermediate sort of level. You've not got to be amazing to still get around the track. You can just double and triple your way around the entire track if you want to, but still really, really good fun. So yeah, that'll wrap it up for me. I hope you have enjoyed the video. If you have, as always, if I could ask for a cheeky little like and subscribe to the channel if you're new, it would be very, very much appreciated. I'm just going to completely blow that bum. We don't need it anyway. It's just a suggestion. And in the same way that you should have a lovely rest of the day, whatever you're up to. And I will catch you guys in the next video. Peace.
I'm working hard, I'm sacrificing my life, I'm sacrificing my mind, I'm sacrificing my sanity, but most importantly, I'm sacrificing my time. Boy, I feel fine, I feel like I am a king. Honestly, I can't complain, even with faith that's the size of a grain of some salt, I will still move a mountain and do what I want. I got